If you're a car guy, you need to have a 3D printer. It's 2024, there's so much you can do with a 3D printer, and this is a clear example of why you need a 3D printer. Now, most of our race cars have an assortment of lines coming from the rear. This car specifically has 2-16 lines, 2-10 lines, and then a power cable as well. And that is what these are for. The 2-16 lines will go in the big holes, the 2-10s will go in the smaller ones, and then the cable will go in the middle one. We've got one on the lines here. I'll show you how it works, and then I'll show you exactly how to make them using Fusion 360. It's really simple. You'll just have to follow me step by step. And that's how our little bracket holds stuff. Let's just jump straight into making it. Hello, hello, hello. So this is Fusion 360. It is a free use, as you can see on the top here, not for commercial use. So hobbyist license. My specific bracket has 5 holes in it. Yours might not. So just plan out the holes according. What I like to do is I like to start with my hole first. So we're going to create a sketch. I like using the top. So click the top, create the sketch right here. It doesn't matter where you do it on here because when you export it, it's just going to go wherever you want anyways. So 30 mil. We're grabbing the circle on the top, place it in the middle, 30 mil. Now we want to have a gap between our 2 circles because obviously there's got to be a little bit of a gap there. We'll make it 5 millimeters. So if you make a line, you have the 15 to the edge plus the 5 millimeters plus the 15 of the other one, which makes 35. And that will be the center point of our next circle. Start the next one, 30 mil. In my specific one, because there's going to be 5 circles, I want to have the bolt that goes through right here. So we're going to leave an extra space between the next circles. Everything has to be on the same plane, the center of the circles, because we're going to split this down the middle later, and I'll show you how to do that after. So we're going to leave I haven't decided yet, probably a 15 mil gap in the middle here. So we're going to go our 15 plus our 15 plus our next hole is 10, so half of 10 is 5. And then we're going to make a 10 right there. So we have our 5 plus the 5 in the middle that we always keep between them. And then our next hole is going to be 15, so plus 7.5. So it's going to be 17.5 between those two. And then we're going to make a 15 hole here. And then between the 15 is 7.5, plus 7.5 is 15, plus 5 is 20. So 20 from center to center. Oh. There. So those are our basic holes. This is going to hold one coolant line. That's going to hold another coolant line. That's going to hold the electrical cable, fuel line, fuel line. So if you're just running, say, 2 fuel lines, you would only need these 2 circles, and you would leave this gap in the middle to put your bolt through. Now what I like to do is I'm just going to make this probably a 5 mil edge on each side. I found that works best for me without making it too bulky and too crazy. So we're going to make this circle 35 here. Actually, let's make it 6 mil. Let's make it a little bit stronger. So we're going to make it 36 to the outside. We're also going to make this one 36 because we're trying to make the exterior of the bracket. And then we're just going to join the 2 tops of these ones. So if we go here with a line straight up, it'll make a point. And you can do this one to the top of that circle and this one to the top of that circle. All right, looking pretty easy, right? So this is only one dimension. It's just flat, it's a sketch. What we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to extrude this to give it some depth. So this is just your basic sketch. Finish it right here at the top right corner. Click on any part of your example here and click this extrude. So we're going to want to extrude everything that doesn't hold the line basically. So these are left hollow, so you want the hollow pieces to stay hollow. If you want to uncheck a piece, just click the piece. There. We're going to extrude this up 25 millimeters, which is basically 1 inch. So our piece is going to be 1 inch thick. And enter that. And now when we go to the top, you can see that we've extruded it up. Now, before we cut it, we're just going to fillet all the edges. What that does is just rounds the edges, so it's not going to be a sharp 90-degree angle right here from the top platform here to where the line goes. There's like a sharp little corner right here that the line could potentially chafe on. So we're gonna fillet that edge, just pick all the edges here. And we're just gonna do 2 mil. See how it puts a nice little roll taper on the end of it? And then we'll do that for the bottom side too. So go to the bottom side, the fillet button up here, get all 5 edges, and 2 mil. If you wanted to, you could do the outside edge right here too. I'm not gonna be worried about that. The line isn't gonna hit there. And these are gonna be under the car, so you won't really see them anyways. This is the part that I had some difficulty learning myself, but we're gonna go back on the top because we need to split this in half now. And I found the easiest way to do this. We'll just start a new sketch on the same plane and just run a line straight through the center of everything. Extend it past, we need a pan. Right through everything, just a single line. And now the easiest way I found to do this is to go up here to surface. So we're in solid, we've been building in solid the whole time. Go to surface, and then go to extrude, and we're just gonna extrude that line upwards. Just like that. Make it a new body on the side here. If it says join, make sure it says new body, because if it joins, oh, you can't even join it. But if it says join by whatever reason on your screen, it'll just add to the current body. But this is gonna create a new body, and that's what you want. Now we can go to bodies over here. There's our new body we just made. There's our original body. So if you get rid of the old body, the old body is still in one piece. But we need it in 2 pieces. So we go back to solid up here. We're going to highlight our other body again, and then go to split body right here. So pick body number 1 as body to split, and then the splitting tool will be body number 2. You can see that it's gonna split for us, and you press OK. Now you see that we have 3 bodies over here. We can hide the one we used to split, and then you can separate the other 2. So that'll be upper half, lower half, upper half, whatever way it is. Now we need the bolt to go through the piece to bolt up into the chassis. So we're gonna click on this face right here, and you can actually start a sketch on a face. I didn't know that until recently, but you can start a sketch using a face already. So we're gonna use that face, we're gonna create the sketch, and now we're using this face as the sketch. We wanna find exactly where our bolt hole is, right here. And I'm actually gonna have to go to the top. Sorry, we're gonna have to go back to the top here. We're gonna figure out the distance to the center of this from the edge. So we're gonna make a line, create a sketch using the top. We're gonna make a line that goes from the edge. The edge is 70 and it's 15 mil in between, so it's gonna be 77.5 to the middle. So we gotta remember 77.5. And now we're gonna go back to this face and make our sketch. So from the end here, in the middle, 77.5. Right there. So now we're going to add a circle here. 2 circles actually. One is going to be for the bolt body, and then one is going to be for the bolt head. I'm going to use like an Allen style head and a 6 mil bolt. So I'm going to make a 7 mil hole, because when you do this, I don't know if it's my specific printer or not, but usually when you 3D print, the hole closes up a little bit. So if your line size is actually like 30 millimeters, I tend to make my hole 31 millimeters because it is going to shrink a little bit. The same for this. So instead of 6 mil, I'm just going to make it 7 millimeters. And then the bolt head is probably 11 mil, so I'm going to make it 12 millimeters here. Now this is going to be the hard part for some of you, getting this one to extrude through. So I'm just going to finish the sketch. We're going to go to the hole. We're going to press extrude. Click on just the smaller hole first. There we go. You can see that the arrow is pointing away from the way we want to extrude. So you can do it one of 2 ways. You can type minus whatever, minus 50, and it will extrude that way through. Or you can just grab the arrow and you can just pull it whatever way through. Now make sure that its operation is cut and not join. And then once you have it all the way through, we're gonna cut the hole all the way through. Perfect. And now this one, I think the head of the bolt is also 10 millimeters. So we're gonna grab this one where the head of the bolt will be countersunk, and we're just gonna build a little countersink into our bracket. By doing the same thing, we're going to extrude, and we're gonna go minus 10 millimeters. Now I'm gonna show you this while we're here so you can use it in further things. But if whatever reason you needed this countersunk portion to be inside the piece, you can actually offset it from the plane that you're building on, which is this face right here. You can go offset, and then you can go minus 10, and it will actually leave the outside portion, and it will only extrude the middle part there. You see that? Where it's inside? So it would only take away the material on the inside. So that's just in a future use if you ever need to build something where you need it to be just extruded inwards. Like if you wanted to countersink a nut into the part, that's how you would do it. We're not doing that right now. So 0, and then let's just go 11 mil. That gives us enough meat in here that I feel comfortable that it will hold. Now that we have it here, to be able to print this thing, you're gonna want to go to the body, just grab one body, we'll do it in sections, and just go File, Export, and you're gonna wanna export it as an STL. An STL is what 3D printers usually use. So we're gonna go bracket V1 top. And then we're going to export it to my desktop, and then we're going to hide that body, show the other one, and then all you have to do, export, bottom, save it. Now we're going to open Bamboo Studios. I have been using this 3D printer for the last couple days. It is phenomenal. Our file. There's the one, that's the bottom piece. There's the top piece. We're just gonna put them like this. All right, we're gonna use glass-filled ABS for this. This is one of my first times using it. So this is the filament we'll be using. It's glass-filled ABS. It is durable, water resistant, great strength and stiffness. And then it also is heat resistant up to 99 degrees Celsius, which coolant shouldn't get hotter than that. 100 degrees Celsius is like 230 Fahrenheit. So if we're higher than that, there's something wrong with the coolant. Anyways, we will slice this plate. This is my favorite part about the Bamboo Lab stuff. It tells you exactly how long it's gonna take to do each of the processes. And then all I literally have to do is go up here, print my plate, send it to my printer, and the printer will do everything by itself. This Bamboo Lab X1C has been the most amazing printer I've ever used. If you want something that just works out of the box, Bamboo Lab has you covered. I definitely don't have all the spec sheets right in front of me at this moment, but it uses some sort of AI to detect the first layer of the print to make sure that nothing's gone wrong. And I've never had a printer where I just select the material I want to print, don't have to change any settings, and then it just prints. And here's a good example of the quality of the print. This is one of my very first prints. It's actually a mount for my FL Sun. I will set this thing up again. I will dedicate this for the prototyping stuff. But this thing has been amazing. Here is our bracket. And as you can see, I didn't change a single setting on that thing. I just plopped that in there. And that printed perfect. And with the cool AMS attachment on the top, you can actually print in different color filaments all at the same time. And now that you've come through the tutorial with me, that is just the beginning of your Fusion 360 journey. You're gonna wanna build a lot more things. I built a steering wheel, my own custom paddle shifters. And once you start to learn to navigate Fusion 360 well, and you start learning to build in 3 dimensions, it's really handy. Now here's our bracket. It has a cool texture on it. That's the glass-filled ABS stuff. It actually comes out fairly smooth. This is the type of bolt I designed it for. It's just a little hex head bolt that's gonna fit in there. It's countersunk, so you'll never see the end of that bolt. And then it just goes through and that clamps the two pieces together, and then you just bolt that into the chassis. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. I'm glad I can help. And if you guys are interested in anything that I do, I did make a Discord server so we can collaborate on future builds. Like the Formula Cart, we've got a couple people in there now, and everyone seems willing to help and just collaborate, throw out ideas, share your ride, etc. The link will be down below. Peace easy, get that V.